Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we'll address the Rubik's Cube in the room, if you will. So you might have noticed on your way into services tonight, our synagogue is decorated a little bit differently than it usually is. Believe it or not, we do not normally have a giant Rubik's Cube in the hallway. But of course, tomorrow night we're holding our very special, our very radical event, our 80s dance, to bring a little joy, nostalgia, and Pac-Man back into our lives. We're going to take a little trip in our DeLorean back to the 1980s. And actually, it's a perfect transition to what I want to talk about this evening. And that's the concept of time. Time always seems to slip away from us, and often we look back fondly on what was in disbelief at how quickly things have passed us by. And sometimes, when we look towards the future, it seems to stretch on forever and ever and ever. In our Torah portion this week, the Israelites stand at the foot of the mountain, impatiently waiting for Moses to come down with the 10 Commandments. But by the end of 40 days, their patience had worn thin. And they decide Moses is gone, he's never to return. And they need to do something in response. And they commit the sin of building for themselves a golden calf to worship in the place of God. The emptiness of the time that lay in front of them was too much to bear. And they relied upon old habits. You see, they had a penchant for looking back towards Egypt and longing for their life how it was. Despite the pain and torture and humiliation of slavery, the evil that they knew was more comfortable than the lack of clarity of what the future might bring. They romanticized what was and feared what was to come. Shabbat urges us not to spend too much time romanticizing the week that was or fretting about what will happen in the week to come. Rather, Shabbat demands that we stop and recognize where we are in this moment, that we take this sacred time to bask in the blessing of the present. So in order to enable ourselves to be fully present, it's important to know who we are worshiping with this evening. So at this time, I'll invite you to turn to the north, south, east, and west and wish Shabbat Shalom to a new friend. And it's my honor to invite up Barry and Fran Friedman to help us light our Shabbat candles and recite Kiddush to welcome Shabbat.
Glasses. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'rasavanu v'shabbat kadsho Be'achav ratzon hikelanu, zikaron lemaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tevilah lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
We take a moment to celebrate the milestones, the joys, the big and little moments of life that bring sweetness each and every day. If there is something that you are celebrating that you would like to share, I invite you to raise your hand so that we might celebrate as one community. Yeah. Your sister is going on a Birthright Israel trip. Incredible. Wonderful. Miss Yatova, I hope she has a wonderful trip. Yeah, Christy.
I was in the Purim Spiel on Sunday, and it was fantastic.
Absolutely. Christy did a beautiful job in the Purim Spiel, and this Purim Spiel was absolutely incredible. Everyone was raving about it, so a huge Yasher Koach to Cantor Thomas. Packed house. Packed house. Not an empty seat. Any other joys, celebrations? I'll share that my husband Charlie started a new job last Monday at the Carolina Refugee Resettlement Agency, and he's loving it so far. It seems to be a great fit, and so that's brought a lot of joy into our lives and some chaos into our schedules, but you know.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
As we prepare to welcome the Sabbath bride, we contemplate where this week has gone and the world that we are about to enter as we create Shabbat. We first offer these words composed by Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, that in the day of Shabbat we create eternity, we create wholeness and peace.
A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmianu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, hihi mikor haberacha. Merosh mikedem lesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machsheva techila. Likrat kala Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai, 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 yalalai lai lai.
So tomorrow night is everyone's favorite day of the year, the beginning of daylight savings time. We're at the time of year where the days get longer and the sun stays in the sky later each day. And the annual tradition of daylight savings time always feels kind of bizarre. It's this attempt to control time in a way that can feel so artificial. So artificial that Congress is actually looking to eliminate it entirely. So let's all focus our prayers there tonight. So often, we feel like time controls our lives. But when we step back and think about it, we realize that yes, the earth keeps spinning, the sun rises and sets, no matter what we do. But we can insert how we spend our time, who we spend our time with, what we spend our time doing with a limited amount of time that we have here on earth. And that's what Shabbat offers us. As Rabbi Abraham Heschel calls it, an architecture in time. We can build the world that we want to live in within the walls of time that we call Shabbat. We join together for the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitzvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavzil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai Sevaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shokbeinu v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratech ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. We will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha. Vishinantam levanecha vidibarta bam vishivtecha beveitecha uvlech